Okay, I want to go ahead and cover Speaking to Persuade, Chapter 16. So, persuasion means creating or reinforcing and changing people's beliefs or actions. And when you're persuading, you need to consider ethical goals as well as ethical methods. We have to be as ethical as possible so that we're not actually persuading our audience and lying to them. It's important that you back up your facts. Now, there's a concept called degrees of persuasion, and persuasion involves any movement by a listener from left to right. So you can go from strongly opposed to moderately opposed to slightly opposed to neutral to slightly in favor to moderately in favor and to strongly in favor. A mental dialogue is actually a mental give and take between the speaker and listener. So when you're presenting something to somebody, they're probably having a conversation in their head about whatever it is you're talking to them about. Also, there's a target audience concept, which is the portion of the audience the speaker most wants to persuade. There's always a target audience. Whoever your target audience is in a persuasive speech, it is generally the people that are against you, because those are the people that you need to convince. You need to be respectful, though, when you present these concepts. Now, persuasive speeches involve questions of fact, questions of value, and questions of policy. First, a question of fact. It deals with the truth or falsity of an assertion. For instance, to persuade my audience that an earthquake of 9.0 or above on the Richter scale will hit California in the next 10 years. Here are the main points. California is long overdue for a major earthquake. Many geological signs indicate that a major earthquake may happen soon, and experts agree that an earthquake of 9.0 or above could strike California any day. Questions of value deals with worth and rightness of idea or action. Specific purpose, to persuade my audience that capital punishment is morally and legally wrong. Point 1. Capital punishment violates the biblical commandment, thou shalt not kill, and capital punishment violates the constitutional ban on cruel and unusual punishment. Now, a question of policy is whether a course of action should or should not be taken, and we also have the concept of passive agreement, which convinces the audience a policy is desirable, and this actually avoids encouraging action to support a specific policy. So here's an example. To persuade my audience that a balanced budget amendment should be added to the U.S. Constitution. Immediate action convinces an audience to act in support of a policy. So for instance, to persuade my audience to vote in the next student election. And policy issues mean need, plan, and practicality. So first, there's a need. Is there a problem that requires a change from the current policy? If there's a plan, what's the speaker's plan to solve the problem with current policy? And practicality means, will plan solve the problem? Will plan create new problems? Also, we have the concept of policy organization, which is problem solution, problem cause solution, comparative advantages, and Monroe's motivated sequence. Problem solving means, main point 1, documents existence of a problem, and main point 2 presents a solution to a problem. So specific purpose, to persuade my audience that the U.S. Congress should pass legislation curbing the spread of phony pharmaceuticals. Main point 1, the spread of phony pharmaceuticals is a serious problem. Main point 2, solving the problem of phony pharmaceuticals requires action by the federal government. Problem cause solution, main point 1, documents problem. Main point 2, analyzes causes. And main point 3, presents a solution. So for instance, specific purpose, to persuade my audience that action is required to deal with the problem of childhood obesity. Point 1, childhood obesity is a major problem in the United States. Point 2, there are 2 major causes of the increase in childhood obesity. And main point 3, solving the problem requires dealing with both cases. Comparative advantages means each main point explains why one solution is preferable to the other. And the specific purpose, to persuade my audience that automakers should put greater emphasis on developing hydrogen fuel cell cars than gas electric cars. So here's an example of the points. Unlike hybrid cars, hydrogen cars run entirely without gasoline. And unlike hybrid cars, hydrogen cars do not emit any air-polluting exhaust. Motivated sequence. 5-step sequence for speeches that seek immediate action. So the motivated sequence means gaining attention, then we show a need for change, we actually use satisfaction to provide a solution, and then we do visualization to enhance the solution by visualizing benefits, and an action to urge action for a solution. And that is it for this chapter.